This video lesson is going to talk about weight. A few definitions you're going to need to know. First of all, weight is the force of gravity on an object. It's how much gravity is pulling on that object. So the heavier the object, the more weight it's going to have, the more gravity has to pull on that object. Mass is the amount of space that something takes up. Something can have a lot of mass, take up a lot of space, but only have a little bit of weight. Or something could only have a little bit of mass and have a lot of weight. If you were to go to the moon, your mass would be the same. You're the same person. But your weight would be less because there's less gravity. On Earth, your mass is the same, but your weight would be more because there's more pull of gravity on your body. So your mass would stay the same, but your weight would change depending on where you are. A scale is used to measure the weight of an object. Back up here, when you go to the doctor's office, they make you stand on the scale so they know how much you weigh. Measures the amount of pull of gravity on that particular object. Here are some equivalent customary weights that you are going to need to know. 16 ounces is 1 pound. 2,000 pounds is 1 ton. Ounces are the smallest. A pound is about a loaf of bread. If you pick up a loaf of bread, it weighs about a pound. And then a ton, you have, like an elephant would weigh a ton. And I'm always asked, OZ is the abbreviation for ounces, and LB is the abbreviation for pound. Where in the world does that come from? Ton makes sense. It's a capital T. It's a big weight. It gets the capital T. Couple fun facts. The abbreviation OZ for ounce comes from an old Italian word, onza, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, which means ounce. And here you see the O and the Z that we use for our abbreviation. LB, which is the abbreviation for pound, and there's not an L or a B in the word pound, stands for libra, which is the basic unit of Roman weight from which we get the present day word pound and the present day weight of pound. So they come from older words that we've used, parts of those words for our abbreviations. Just a fun fact. To change units of weight, think which is heavier. Then think about how the two units relate. We're converting again from one unit of measure to another. So if I have 3 pounds and I want to know how many ounces do I have, I need to think. First, pounds are heavier than ounces. Pounds, a loaf of bread. Ounces, like a paper clip. Going from larger to smaller, I need to multiply because it's going to take more ounces. I have 3 pounds and I'm going to have a lot more than 3 ounces, so I'm going to have to multiply. Well, I know that 1 pound equals 16 ounces, so 3, I need to multiply 3 by 16. And so I know that 3 pounds equals 48 ounces. So when I go from bigger to smaller, I have to multiply and I have to know my units. If I'm going to convert from smaller units to larger units, this time I'm going to go from ounces to pounds. Ounces are much smaller. Pounds are bigger. If I'm going from small to big, it's not going to be as many pounds. If it's 32 ounces, it's going to be fewer pounds. You need to think, ounces are smaller than pounds. I'm going from smaller to larger, so I'm going to have to divide. There are 16 ounces in 1 pound, so I'm going to do 32. I'm going to divide it by my 16 because there are 16 ounces in a pound. 32 divided by 16 equals 2, so 32 ounces equals 2 pounds. So these are just some quick abbreviations that you need to know and some quick equivalences and conversions that you're going to need to know when we're talking about weight. Just don't get weight and mass confused. Weight is the pull of gravity. Mass is the amount of space that you take up. Again, on the moon, your weight would be less, your mass would be the same. When you got back to Earth, your mass would be the same, but your weight would be less because of the pull of gravity. So don't get those two terms mixed up. So this is all about weight.